Welcome to another edition of the Gator Nation Football Podcast Film Review. I'm your host, James DiVirgilio, and in this video, we'll be looking at Florida's offense versus Kentucky's defense, and obviously, this is not going to be easy to watch, but it's important to watch because the best way to improve is to look at the film and learn from your mistakes. This film raises all sorts of questions. It features a significant regression from Anthony Richardson from the first play until the end of the game, including a significant loss of confidence, which as a quarterback is the last thing that you want to see. Typically from week 1 to week 2, teams make their most significant improvement on film. We just did not see that with the offense, and again, that was largely due to quarterback play. I did not see this coming. I've watched every single play that Richardson has had while a Florida Gator, and nothing suggested his variance could reach this low. He's a guy with tremendous ceiling potential, a guy with a lot of unknowns. All those things were readily available to us, but this performance, this level of bottom variance was shocking to me. We're going to see if we can find some answers in this video. We're going to see what this means for the future. And of course, we're going to hope this is just a one-off bad game and an anomaly, because a lot of Florida's issues were caused entirely by themselves, which is the good thing. As always, if you like this content, you can follow us on social media. You can drop us a dono on Patreon, and you can check out the podcast each and every Monday where we bring you in-depth analysis on the Florida Gators. All right, fasten your seatbelt, buckle up, get your mind right, because again, this video is not going to be easy to watch, but it is necessary for us to be able to find some answers to some big questions that teams are going to be asking of Florida's offense. The film is out there. It's clear where Florida struggles. What I'm going to show you is what everyone else is going to see. Now, the big challenge for Florida is, can they overcome this and get better throughout this 2022 season? We'll start by looking at the second play of the game. It's 2nd and 8 for Florida, and Kentucky is going to give Anthony Richardson the Emory Jones treatment. I chronicled this last year in several videos, but essentially for most of the game, if not all of the game, except for predictable situations, nearly all 11 of Kentucky's defenders are going to just be watching Richardson. Now, they're going to play a lot of man defense as well, in which case they'll just be watching their man. But if they're not in man, they're watching Richardson. The game plan, which we're going to cover throughout this breakdown, was to stop Richardson in several ways, but it was rather surprising to see them employ the Emory Jones strategy, which is essentially that we don't think you can throw the football. And that's unusual and surprising because really on film, as I've chronicled throughout Richardson's time here, outside of the Georgia game where he did face an historically good defense, and even then, I think I broke down a lot of those plays, he narrowly missed some big plays in that game. Most teams had not been willing to do it to this level, but Utah, as we saw last week, put a game plan out there that indicated, hey, this was a good idea. And as we said last week, Florida's going to have to prove that they can beat man coverages or very aggressive run-based coverages that essentially dare you to pass. Florida did not obviously pass that challenge. Richardson did not pass that challenge. In fact, in my opinion, it's one of the bigger week 1 to week 2 regressions I've seen a quarterback make on film, and it's one of the bigger regressions throughout one game I've seen. And you're going to see that through film as well, as this can best be summed up by Anthony Richardson just losing his confidence as the game goes on to a level that you do not want to see your quarterback lose confidence. Quarterbacks need to be mentally tough. It's one of the most important traits of a good quarterback. You are going to struggle. Playing quarterback is very hard. You cannot allow missed opportunities to basically train wreck your ability to move the football team down the field and ultimately be your own undoing. So this strategy paid significantly for Kentucky. In retrospect, in hindsight, it looks like a very smart strategy. Obviously, it was the right strategy, and you better believe that every smart team on Florida's calendar is going to do the same exact thing. Until Napier and Richardson can prove they can competently move the ball against teams that load up. So I'm going to go through these plays much more quickly than I did last week, since we set a lot of the center for what's happening, but I wanted to set that up so you can pay attention to it as we move through the broadcast here with what's happening on film with how these defenders are playing. So this is going to be a successful play. Early on, you were probably feeling like, hey, if AR's on the field, we're feeling good. We talked about in the podcast, this was a good matchup for Florida. Kentucky replacing almost all of their defensive linemen, both of their starting corners. They were a poor secondary last year. They did have 2 excellent linebackers, and that largely influenced this game. They did an excellent job against Florida. But really, as we mentioned, it was this strategy of maintaining eye contact here in the backfield, and then we're going to kind of break down the nuances of what else they did. But early on 2nd and 8, Kentucky is going to play heavily to the run, right? Take a look at what we have here. Although we're really in a bail, we're in a cover 3 situation, single high safety, but really cover 3 here, and they're going to alternate between man and zone in this. Effectively, this is a cover 3 with really no underneath defenders, minus your outside linebacker here, who is guarding Ricky in space. But Richardson's going to have to get this ball out quickly because Kentucky was going to bring tremendous pressure from Richardson's right all game long. Why the right side? Essentially because they did not want to have him roll out to his strong side without having defenders putting pressure there. They were content with him to try to go this way, but they did not want him to be going this way, which he did against Utah so often. So they frequently were bringing 2 and sometimes 3 people right here into this lane to stop him from doing any of that. And you're going to see that happen on this play. Right away, we do a split zone. We're going to fake this handoff and then a little RPO here. Nice exchange, RPO, and then here comes your slant route, which is going to get there before the safety can get there. This is an easy throw. You could make this all day long against this defense. And Richardson, of course, does take a hit here that does hobble him to a certain degree, and they're shorter for the first down. Now, at this point in time, you feel pretty good. Okay, great. If Kentucky's going to load the box like this and basically play 8 guys in the box, 7 or 8 guys in the box on every play, Florida should have tons of success. There was no reason, as I sat in the stands, for me to believe that Richardson would not be able to move the ball against Kentucky's secondary with relative ease, given this sort of strategy Kentucky employed. And obviously, I wound up being very, very wrong. Now, this injury that he took, some people are saying it really affected him. As you're going to see on film, he seemed to be just fine. It might have dinged him up some, but he seemed to be just fine. I think Kentucky's defense affected him more than whatever happened to his feet. Or leg, or whatever the case may have been, given, again, how he moves on film, how he steps in the pocket, how he actually runs on certain occasions. So it couldn't have been that big of a factor. This is more of a mental thing, and I think it really cost Florida, obviously, in this game. I'm going to show you this play because it's something I really do not like. Now, obviously, when I break down film, I have to give you some of my opinions, and there's a million different opinions in coaching circles with what you want to do, so I'm just one guy here. But Florida State did this a long time ago. I hated it then. And I don't like that Florida's doing it now at all. I think it's really, really silly, and there's a reason why the majority of teams in the NFL and other places do not do this. Then you're going to see it right now. Pay attention to the offensive line. Florida thinks they potentially have drawn the nose tackle here offsides. They think this is true. It's not true, and now we decide that we're going to all stand still. This, to me, is so stupid. So stupid. Just completely stupid. Because the reward of it is they're offsides. That's the reward. The risk is that they're not offsides and you have now thrown away an entire play because here comes everyone, right? Reward is they're offsides. Well, you get that anyway. If they're offsides, you can also run a free play where your offensive line still blocks. Instead, this is what we do. We stand here. Hate it. Hate this. This has got to go away. This is not something anyone should ever employ. I do not like it. I don't care what the reason is. It's not good enough. So instead, we're going to throw this play away. Again, roll out right. Take a look what Kentucky does here. Their linebackers, unlike Florida's, very, very good at eye control in the backfield. Once he reads this is going here, he's going to shoot into this window. We're going to cover our gaps here, and we're going to make sure that everything over here is squeezed, which it is. They get the benefit, of course, here that this play is blown up early because we have our offensive line all hanging out over here, not getting any kind of offsides call. So there goes that play. Total throwaway. 3rd and 10 now for Florida. Naquan Wright's going to motion out of the backfield. This is going to cause the safety. This is really what Florida wants here. The safety for Kentucky tells the corner to cover Naquan, and he is going to cover shorter. This is definitely a better situation for Florida. And now we're going to work the middle of the field. As it looks like right now, Kentucky is going to either play what could be a cover 2 or a cover 4. And in fact, they're going to play a cover 4 with a bracket essentially here. They're going to bracket Ricky, right? Here's your underneath linebacker. Richardson does a nice job here. Eye control. Move him out of your window. You know all along that you want to hit shorter on this post route right here. This is great. This is what we've seen him put on film all the time. This is comfortable. He's got a great pocket here by the O-line. He's got plenty of time. There he is. Right foot sets, everything I like to see. Drive down, everything I like to see. Here's your target, flat-footed safety. This is a layup. This is what you want. This is an easy ball. It's a layup. It's a throw he makes all the time. We've seen him do it time and time again. And here, this ball is way sailed over shorter. And again, I want to restate this. He moves the linebacker over here. Check. He clears a nice window that he hits all the time. He's on time, steps up, ball comes out, and just for whatever reason, he's off the mark. And look, this is going to happen. He started slow last time against Utah. We talked about his nerves sort of kind of being there. He's clearly a little geared up again. He's a young guy. He does not have a lot of experience, but on film, these are throws he makes easily. He misses this throw on 3rd and 10. And instead of being, look at that, it's going to be like a 20-yard gain or so. Instead of that, Florida has to punt early on in this game. You complete these passes, you start to feel good. You start to have some momentum. He misses this pass. Again, no big deal. Go to the sideline, no big deal. You had him. We're going to continue to get these looks. We're going to have to do better on 1st and 2nd down. But hey, if on 3rd down you're getting this kind of blocking, this kind of pocket, we're going to be just fine. Obviously, that's not what happened, as we're going to take a look at that. But for now, this is just a missed throw. Everything here is nice. Route's good. He's got what he wants. We have everything we're looking for. We have a huge, easy lane with a good pocket. And Richardson just misses the throw here. It's now the next possession for Florida. We're going to empty out the backfield again. Kentucky knows we're passing here, and we're going to get something that Kentucky does often in these situations is they play zone. We talked about last week, we talked about in the podcast that Richardson generally shreds zone, and he's going to get cover 3 right here. Going to get a cover 3 look, safety bailing off of your screen, and then here comes Ricky running this seam route right here. Here's Richardson IDing the safety, good eye control, keep the middle linebacker out of the way, make sure everything is what you want, and then snap your head to your target. Check, this looks perfect. Here's the window that you have. Everything you want here is easy. You've identified cover 3. You got everything you need. Linebackers stay flat here. 1st and 10, caught him at a good look, deliver the ball. Now this ball is just a little off target. Obviously, if he hits him in here, he's probably still running, maybe gains another 10, 12 yards. So again, signs here, he's not super comfortable, but you secure the catch here. You get a nice big gain on 1st down, and it feels like maybe things are going to start rolling. All right, 1st and 10 here. The Emory Jones plan is back in effect. Take a look at Kentucky, expecting run here. We have 8 guys in the box. We have a single high safety. We're playing man down here. And then Florida stacked up with 2 receivers versus what looks to be 2-on-2. This is a great look for a quarterback here. You can probably do anything that you want. And let's see what Florida chooses to do and what they could have chosen to do. Now, here's what I told you Kentucky's game plan was. Take a look at how aggressive this game plan is. They are going to bring a double pressure from his right side here. And we have plenty of time for this. But by doing so, Kentucky was willing to do stuff like this. He has 2 options on this play. He can throw this go route, which he's throwing at the bottom of your screen, to shorter, or we have Ricky blocking a bailing corner and nobody over here guarding Xavier Henderson. Nobody. Now, pre-snap, how would this had to have happened? Pre-snap, he identifies what I just told you. He knows for sure in the look, loaded box, I have man-to-man coverage out here. I want to hit a fade route to my receiver. This is perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with this. He's thinking for sure, especially at this stage of the game, right? 1st quarter, 2nd drive, this linebacker is going to stay out here, and he's 2-by-2. He'll take his 1-on-1. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm showing you this play not because he should have magically seen this blitz is coming. This is a surprise. Again, 2nd drive, 1st quarter. You don't know what a team's game plan is yet. This is an unbelievably aggressive call in this situation, especially on 1st down, but they're expecting run. They want to take away him doing anything over here. They're going to take him out of the game. That's the plan. And Florida has, obviously, this route here, which he's going to throw. And he throws this ball a bit early. This is great coverage, and he almost, right, drops this in. I mean, he barely misses this ball. Take a look, right? Barely misses this ball. Shorter's almost there. If he waits just half a beat longer, this is zeros. This is a quick game, so 0 step or quick game here. Get the ball in your hand, set your feet, make a throw. Just a beat longer, and he's probably able to deliver this ball to shorter in a more catchable position. He's a little early. Timing's a little off. But again, key here I want you to focus on is how aggressive Kentucky's going to be in the box and how they're going to bring this pressure to his right side. And they were willing to do so even pre-snap, knowing what could happen here with this look. And Florida has obviously thrown these little screens frequently. So there you have it. Kentucky, again, a true, very risky game plan. Basically acknowledging we cannot stop your run game even numbers. We probably can't even stop it +1. So we're going to go +2 and see if you can't beat this kind of stuff with the entire football field at home. And sadly, Florida couldn't do it. 3rd and 5 now for Florida. If you watch previous film reviews or you listen to the podcast, of course, you know how much I love throwing the football. You also know how much I love to go empty. I love to go 5 receiver sets. I'm a big fan of air raid style concepts mixed with pro style concepts. And this is one reason why, if you have a good quarterback, like Florida obviously did in Trask, you can really put the defense into some bad situations. Here we have Ricky again on a safety. This is our best, probably route running receiver on a safety. You can that's a great matchup. Kentucky's going to be aggressive. We're going to motion here, Montrell, which causes a little confusion here between the two Kentucky linebackers. Again, Kentucky's linebackers were excellent on the day, but Kentucky's still being very aggressive, right? Single high safety. We're going to be very aggressive. We're committed to putting our other safety over here and covering you, and we are going to try to make sure this box is still full. We do not want to play with just 4 down linemen here. We're going to try to load this up. So Florida's going to clear this out, see if they can't cause a mistake. They almost do, right? Except this is how you scrape as a linebacker. And this is why watching film is great. If you watch this play in the stadium, you may have thought, what a terrible play call. It's 3rd and 5. How could you make this call? Well, this play could be a touchdown if it's not for a phenomenal job here. And watch what happens, how quickly he's going to identify this play. Eyes in the backfield, right? Eyes in the backfield. He sees it. There's no one there. He knows there's absolutely no running back. There's no way of a play action or a run threat or anything else. He just needs to see if Richardson's actually going to drop back and pass. If he does drop back and pass, he'll drop back into the zone right here and try to take away any sort of in-breaking route while also spying Richardson. Of course, he is a spy here. That is his role. But watch how well he plays this. This takes a lot of discipline. Florida has assigned Guraj here to block him. All Guraj is trying to do is get here to his inside shoulder. That's all he wants to do. That's his only job. He's a bigger guy. He's a stronger guy. He just has to get there. But right here we go. Look at that step. Clearance step to get away from the offensive lineman coming at him. He reads this is going to be run, and he now knows he's got to get here. And this is how you scrape across the line. That's how you scrape as a linebacker. This is phenomenal stuff on tape here. Richardson has a humongous hole to run through. Look at this hole. He's going right here. He's going to have one-on-one versus safety somewhere in this area after completing the first down. If he makes a move, we're scoring a touchdown. It's going to be a great play call, and we're all celebrating. Instead, we're going to get a hero play right here. Now Richardson, if his leg's really hurting him, he gets a great explosion out of the gate here. Then he also attempts to make an extremely hard cut here, where his foot is going to just get a little wonky. He's going to have a little slide right there. But from the other angle that I can't show you, he really plants super hard, goes to cut, loses his grip. If he's hurting, he's making a very explosive move attempt here, right? He just loses his footing. However, this is a great play that takes away what's going to be a big play for Florida. This play call is perfectly fine. I have absolutely no problem with it. This is probably going to work more often than it's not, but this is how important good linebacker play is. And obviously at Florida, if you followed my defensive breakdowns, we have not had good linebacker play for quite some time. It's something that's plagued Florida's defense. Kentucky, one reason why their defense tends to be good every year, even though their secondaries tend not to be very good, is because they have excellent linebackers year in and year out, and they can cover for a variety of ills, especially against teams that want to run the football. And this play right here is made essentially by one guy. He wins his one-on-one matchup, and he stops this play, which would have been a huge conversion and probably, or at least potentially, a touchdown. So another opportunity for Florida, a perfectly fine play call. They don't make the play. So now we're driving into the first quarter here, 3 drives in, 2 drives in, and we're unable to essentially make the big play to open this up, and we settle for a field goal. I've heard a lot of comments and seen a lot of comments about why AR didn't run this game. Was it because he was injured? I don't think so. I think this has to do, again, maybe he was dinged up, but this has to do more with how Kentucky was going to defend this. I want to show you what's going to happen here. We're going to motion across the H-back, reset him here, and what does Kentucky do? He widens out. Now, a very popular defense against running quarterbacks that want to run zone read or they want to wind up running things like this is to run a wide 9 defense or in any rate you want to widen out your linebackers. That's one of the benefits of running a 3-4. Here they are running a 3-4. Kentucky runs a version of 3-4 that is better than Florida's because they have better linebackers. It's that simple. But now your linebacker is going to widen out here because you do not want Richardson. Again, you want to frustrate him, right? He's the guy. Kentucky says he's the guy that's going through and he's generating plays with his legs. We're going to make him beat us with his arm. And watch what, again, Kentucky does on first down, right? First down. We're going to play very aggressive. Here comes our blitz. Very aggressive. We're going to run a scrape exchange, which I've covered in the defensive breakdowns quite a bit. Scrape exchange, bringing our strong safety down. And watch, again, this is discipline, right? He is just going to make sure that he is staying on Richardson. He's not going to allow Richardson to come out here, and there he is. He's just there. That's his job. They're assigning a player to Richardson on every single play. That's significant respect for his rushing ability. It's also almost no respect for his passing ability, and Florida's now going to just take this run here for a few yards with Etienne out the short side of the field. So, again, pay attention to that. Watch that on these plays, how they are guarding Richardson. All right, 2nd and 7. Napier now getting obviously a clear indication as he's already seen. And I think, again, to be fair to Napier here, early in this game, he had a great feel for how Kentucky was going to defend Florida. He was well aware that they were going to come out aggressively against Florida. He was well aware that what we showed last week was a weakness. Florida was unable to move the ball against any kind of man defense or aggressive defense, where essentially we talked about Utah playing cover 0 towards the end, playing a lot of cover 1 towards the end. Utah plays a lot more man than Kentucky does, but he just sort of took those concepts and put it into Kentucky style where they play more cover 3, but took the same idea. I'm going to load the box as heavily as I can. And I'm going to live with whatever matchups I get, including matchups like this one. We're going to have Xavier Henderson here on a linebacker. Probably Florida's best, right, receiver as far as speed goes, verticality goes, and we're just going to let him run against a linebacker because we don't really care, because we want to make sure, again, watch what happens here. We want to make sure that we stop Richardson. That's the goal. That's what we're going to do. We're playing super aggressive, single high, playing man-to-man on the edge here. These guys have no help over here because we do not believe in Richardson's ability to throw the football. Florida here is going to get its play action. We're going to move Richardson to the outside. He's going to get what we want here. We get everything we want. And Richardson on this play actually has a two-way look. He can throw it to Xavier Henderson, or he could also have thrown it over the top here to Fraziers, who in fact is open for a touchdown. This would have been an even better throw. You're going to see on your screen right here. There he is. He's gone. He's gone. The safety is never going to get there. He's rotating down and away. Now he's turning around as we speak. You can't see him, but he is. And he is gone. This is a touchdown, right? And then this is a look against the linebacker. Now, I don't have a problem with this throw because this is what the play was really designed for. When you see that matchup as linebacker on Xavier Henderson, that's where you're going to go first. So this is just fine. Now, if you see this, you're thinking, oh, I really wanted that. That's great. That's nice. But this is your first read. And when your first read's open, you throw to your first read. That's how it goes. And this is a great pass. Nice catch. And again, at this point in time, you're thinking, all right, it's 3-0. Florida's going to start rolling. That's the feeling I think most of us had. Very next play, 1st and 10. If you're wondering why, by the way, this quality here, you're looking at this thinking, I get this comment a lot on the channel, why is it not 1080? Well, in order for me to watch these replays and draw on the screen, the replay itself, it just is not, it's the quality that you get into it. So if I took the actual TV feed and didn't run it through this system, it would be cleaner. But for simplicity's sake, to be able to do so many plays, you have to deal with this not being super high quality at times. So my apologies for that, but it allows me to do these things in a way that keeps me sane and doesn't require me to have to do extra porting and other difficult things to, kind of telestrate in the screen, etc. So there's that. I say that because it's hard to see what happens here, but this is Xanders, right, a converted defensive lineman. This is a good read by Richardson. Here we go on 1st and 10. Again, Florida's being very aggressive. They get the exact right call on. Kentucky's dropping back in zone. They're giving us this check down. This is a super simple throw. Step 1 is Tarquin snipes himself. Here he goes. He's down. Just gets sniped by himself. Gets up. Does enough to sort of just chip him out of the window. But, now you got a guy coming in your face. And Richardson makes this throw. Squeezes it in between this gap here. This is fine. This ball's a little high, but really not by much. He's not even jumping that high. He has the ball, and then right here he just loses it. And if he doesn't lose it, he's going to wind up getting probably a 1st down. at least 9 yards. So now it's 1st and 10. Again, you just completed the pass to Henderson. Now, if you're Richardson, you feel like, I threw that ball a little high. I should have given him a better ball. It's an incomplete pass. No worries. I'm starting to move. I'm feeling good. But these little plays like this really started to add up and I think affect Richardson's mentality. 3rd and 5. Florida going to bring Frazier's on a motion here. And Florida's going to get exactly what you would expect Kentucky to give you. And we've chronicled this for several years with Stoops. Their defense is good, largely because they just don't make stupid mistakes. But the reason why Trask was able to so thoroughly pick them apart is Trask, much to a lot of Florida Gators fans, I think, underappreciation of him early on. And perhaps on the podcast, a lot of people accused us of being too rosy about him early on. But the reality was he was a true quarterback's quarterback. If you played static zones like this, which Kentucky does a lot, he would destroy you. Now, Richardson has been shredding zone. Not to Trask level, but he certainly has been very good against it, with the exception of a few plays here and there. And here he gets everything he wants. This is everything he wants, right? Here's your cover 3 dropper. We've got 2 safeties high playing safe. We've got a guy playing the sticks here. He knows that. He knows exactly what he wants. He IDs everything, heads in a good place, and he knows he's got Henderson right here on this curl route, right in between these guys. There it is. Boom. Look at this pocket. I mean, this is easy money. 3rd and 5, easy conversion. This is easy. Easy. Puts the ball right on his face. Easy. That's easy. You have to catch that, Xavier. Boom, right in his face. Now, Richardson could be accused of overthrowing at times, right? Putting too much velo on it, but you've got to cook this one in there. You got 3 defenders here. You don't have the luxury of floating this ball in. You got to cook this ball in. This ball's on time. It's right in his hands, and unfortunately right through his hands. Now, is that a tough catch? Yes. Is Kentucky playing a very tight window on that? Yes. That's the right read and the right throw. With a catch there from your receiver, maybe now you're building momentum. Instead, now we're off the field again, and now we've missed even more opportunities. Now, is Kentucky forcing us into these situations? You tell me. Does this look like we're under duress here? Are we having any issues? No. Have we missed a lot of plays? Yes. Is Kentucky's game plan to let Richardson throw smart? Because against Utah, we were running a lot of these for first downs. Yes, certainly. But in reality, at this stage of the game, to the first quarter, Florida is just creating their own problems. All right, 2nd and 10. Kentucky's going to do what Kentucky does. Again, this is why this is really frustrating to break down, is if you know what a team is going to do, especially like Kentucky does here, you got to be able to move the ball. You just have to be able to. Florida should not have had a problem with this. Here comes their cover 3, something they love to do. They do it all the time. They're going to bail. They're going to bail. Again, cover 3 is a perfectly fine defense, right? But there's also easy beaters for cover 3. And if you get time, which again, Kentucky was trying to take away the time. Check out what's coming at Florida here, right? They're going to bring the heat here. If you get time, you can complete stuff. So Kentucky, here's what they did well. They mixed up these zones with bringing tons of pressure. High risk, high reward, and if Florida makes them pay a few times, especially early in the game, this game could be 17-0. That's not going to work anymore. But the more your defense is able to gamble like this and bring immense amounts of pressure and survive it, right? Here you go, survive it, the better off you are. Now, correct read by Richardson. Right away, he realizes this is cover 3, right? And he reads the seam. Now, you have this ball. This is what's in the cover 3, what's going to be available. You're going to corner dropping and a corner dropping, right? And in this case, you're going to have this seam window. That window is there. Now, there's other ways to attack cover 3 that we've talked about quite a bit. We'll talk about them, all throughout this season. But for this one, this is a perfectly fine way to attack cover 3. And there it is. You have to throw this ball over the linebacker, who's right here, and then in between your dropper and your safety. But this is not a problem for Richardson. He has this throw in his bag. And he's going to take this ball and just miss by a mile. This is nowhere close, right? Nowhere close. And what concerns me the most here is his footwork. He knows the blitz is coming. As soon as he catches this ball, he knows the blitz is coming. He's going to put his foot in the ground, and this is just really, really lazy. We saw Emory do this all the time. We have not seen Richardson do this nearly as often. But anytime you see a quarterback lean back like this, right, we're going to have issues. 2nd down and 10, and Kentucky is going to give, again, something that Florida would expect and would know, and that's partly what's so frustrating about this game is I think Napier and staff and Richardson knew what was coming in this game and just could not execute. You're going to see an early cover 3 bail right here. Same thing here. You'll see him move down low. He goes high, right? So they're disguising it post-snap, but Richardson is going to read this out right away. Right away, he's going to take this in with his eyes. He knows this is what he suspects he's going to get, and he knows he has a seam go route here from shorter. Second best option on this play is going to be Ricky coming over the middle, but Kentucky is going to send an almost all-out blitz. They're going to send 6, though. And again, they're going to send 2 from one side on the edge here to make sure that he cannot escape. This time from his left side, not his right side. But you can see they even come in with discipline, which you have to like. They're making sure they don't overrun this. They respect his athleticism. Now, right here, he identifies the exact right read. Here's your dropper. Here's your window. Is this a tight throw? Sure, it is. Now, the ball's got to go further than what I'm drawing. But that is a throw Richardson has made before. And he reads it correctly. And again, and this is what I just don't like about this. This is a quick game. He knows the blitz is coming. It's a quick game here. He needs to take this snap, set his feet like he's doing, and drive through this throw. Something we saw with Emory a lot is what we're going to see right here. Look at his body posture. You do not, as a quarterback, want to be finishing with your body at that angle. It needs to be neutral or even slightly forward, right? But he's not. He's leaning back on this. He's not driving through his throw. This is going to lead to accuracy issues. Yes, he has traffic coming into him for sure. There's no doubt, but you have got to get a little drive on this throw. If you're Aaron Rodgers, if you're Pat Mahomes and you've proven you can throw accurately from any area, then fine, do what you want. But in general, this is a throw you're trying to hit here. Again, 2nd and 10, tough throw. This is not easy, right? Here's Ricky coming across on the dig route, which would have been a second choice, but no time because Kentucky blitzed, and they wanted to force these kind of throws out of him. If you can hit a few of these throws, they've got to change what they're doing. But we can't. He just sails this ball too far, misses by a huge margin to his biggest and most physical receiver here in Shorter, who's got leverage on the corner with a safety that cannot get there. So another missed opportunity there on 2nd and 10 with a very aggressive play call for Kentucky. You can see the theme here. Kentucky is not being punished for their extreme aggression. All right, 3rd and long again for Florida, and this is going to be Richardson's best throw of the day by far. This is an absolute dime right here. And take a look again how Kentucky chooses to defend this. Look how aggressive this is. This is 3rd down and 10. There is no safety magically hiding off your screen. No one is there. I want you to look at what they're doing here, right? This is what we have on our screen. We are matched up man-to-man with no safety. Now the counter here is they're going to bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys again with a spy here on Richardson. He's going to drop out here at the end, right? So we're going to send 5 in. Then if we feel like the pass is coming out quick, we're going to make a read and step in the lane. So this is a really nice design specifically for Richardson, but Richardson's ready for the task. He identifies what he has here, and what he has here is an out route. And this is an absolutely filthy throw. Now, unlike last time, take a look at what happens with his back foot. He's going to drive through this. He's going to get grabbed here on the back, but this throw is going to finish much better. And this throw, again, is perfectly on time. Shorter has not looked yet, and the ball's on the way. I mean, that is an absolutely cold dime. That is a disgusting pass. Now, this is more of what we're used to from Richardson, seeing highlight throws like these in a few throws that are perhaps a little bit off. But to see such an incredible range of variance from his throws, from way off to a throw like this, was truly unique in this game, and obviously it cost Florida. Again, Kentucky's gambling on these game plans. What I think was really unfortunate for Florida is in these situations, you'd love to find a way to do more than just take an out route here, right? You'd love to try to hit him with, a stutter go or something that's going to be a touchdown because there is no safety. So to just get to the sticks here is a win for the defense every single time. If I'm Mark Stoops, I love this. I feel like I can send the house, and my worst case scenario is you barely get the first down. That's only going to encourage me to be more aggressive instead of what we've talked about when we chronicled Trask or really any other college football team that makes you pay when you go into man, and Tom Brady's one who comes to mind. Tom Brady completes about 58% of his passes against man. You're always going to complete a lower number of passes versus man, but he completes a much higher percentage of those passes for touchdowns. He makes you pay with big, big plays. And Florida was unable to create chunk yardage in the passing game despite this extremely aggressive game plan from Kentucky. 1st and 25 after what was a phantom call, I think, for a blindside block on Shorter. He certainly seemed to hit him on the shoulder or the side to me. This is going to be a throw we've seen Richardson make already this season multiple times. It's one of his favorite routes to throw. We're going to get that orbit motion coming across here, something I really wish Florida would not do on every single snap, or at least 80% of them. I think there's a place for that. There's a place for that kind of motion, but it's so often I question whether it's really as effective as potentially using some more across the line of scrimmage motions or things to move the defense that way. But that's a topic for another day. For now, we've got Ricky running, again, a route that we have seen Richardson stick. He's going to go right to it. We got a little curl route coming in here. Footwork, check the footwork. Right foot hits, drives forward. He's ready. Casual, ball. Now, we have seen him stick this time and time again. This ball, however, is behind Pearsall, and unfortunately, it's going to go off his shoulder, right? This is behind him and off his shoulder. And he stumbles. Ricky stumbles out of his break just a touch, which messes up the timing of this. That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I think he's a good enough receiver where if he doesn't stumble, he probably still catches this. This ball's just only off the mark by a yard or two. Again, this is close defense, right? You can't be throwing soft balls in here. He's firing this ball in here, but this has got to be caught. Again, tough catch here, but you're hoping your receiver can help you out. You're having a tough game. He can't make that catch, and unfortunately, that goes for nothing. But on 1st and 25, that would have been a nice 15-yard completion, another chance to get some momentum. So what have we seen thus far? We've seen some great passes that have been completed, maybe 2 of those, and we've seen a bunch of other ones that have been close and some that have been really bad, but you have not seen 2 in a row. There has not been 2 passes completed in a row that have been consistent. There have not been 3 in a row for sure, and that's keeping Richardson out of his rhythm, and it's continuing to make him feel like he's chasing the game, despite the fact it's very early in the game, and Florida has the lead. Florida empty again, which I love it. They empty this formation out right here with Naquan down at the bottom, and I love this especially against Kentucky. I just love it against them. You know you're probably going to get cover 3, maybe cover 4. A good quarterback can take a look at this pre-snap. All he has to do is watch what happens with the safeties. He's going to get the snap. There it goes. There he goes. He's bailing into cover 3, cover 3, cover 3. Now right away, Richardson knows this immediately. This is an almost instantaneous ID. He knows what he has, and he knows what he has is going to be good. We've got a nice little dig route coming in here, and you're going to have Ricky going to the second level. This is a levels play, so you got a short level, then you've got your deeper level. He's your first option. He's got everything he wants. As he does, he's going to look over here first to create a bigger window for himself. Check, check, check. Great job, AR. You're on top of it right now. He's got a clean pocket. We're doing great over here. If Kentucky was playing 4-on-4, Florida was owning this. This was not a problem for Florida. He's got everything he wants. There you go. Easy throw. He makes this throw in his sleep. Look at this gap. In his sleep. And this ball is way over Ricky. Just way over him. If he catches this ball, he's still running. Look at this window here. If he catches this ball, he's not going to get him. He's going to get to the safety. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 or 6, or perhaps he makes a move and we're still running, right? That's a big potential play. Here's your other cover 3 defender. So to miss these throws is just brutal. I mean, this is a layup. And as this game goes on, it's only going to get worse. And it's going to lead to, again, what I said at the top of the show, one of the greatest regressions I've seen in a while, given the body of work that Richardson has put out there. All of these throws, so many of these throws like these are just out of character for him to be this off in a game of this magnitude so frequently is hard to understand. It's hard to explain. Everything here is good. This is good. Everything is good. Boom, ball out. Just nowhere near it. Just nowhere near it. Just an unbelievable off day. Again, really, both tragic and just hard to explain at times. Kentucky scores, unfortunately, after really just a straight jump ball. We cover that on the defensive breakdown there. An unfortunate play for Kimber, losing the one-on-one matchup there, even though he's on top of the route and covering him well. Florida now finds himself down in this game, despite really feeling like they probably had a lot more opportunities, because they did. Really nice running play here. Again, Kentucky's committed to stopping the run. Florida has come out and thrown the ball a lot early on. It's not deterring Kentucky. They're still going to stay very aggressive in the box. Good strategy by them. Don't change things if it's working. Florida's going to run the split zone concept here along with a tight orbit motion, so a lot of fake action coming this way. Again, you're going to overplay Richardson because you do not want him to keep the ball. Florida now has seen this time and time again. Hit him with some action. It looks like we're coming this way. Move the linebackers over here because everything is flowing this way. They have good linebackers. They're going to make reads. They're going to read where the H-back is going. All those things are true, except we're actually just going to run an inside zone run here right through this gap. I mean, look at this gap. I mean, this is some stuff that Florida puts on film this year that we have not seen. That's beautiful right there. And out goes Montrell off to the races for a huge Florida gain. To me, it's become clear that the two best backs on Florida, both statistically and on film in this system, are obviously Montrell and Trevor Etienne, and those guys need to get more carries, and that's something we'll watch as the season goes on. Right now, they're pretty much getting equal carries, but through 2 games, it's hard to keep 2 and 7 off the field, especially 7. He's the most wiggly of all of them, but Montrell just does everything right behind that O-line. He rarely makes a mistake reading. Those guys, I think, need to get more carries, unfortunately, than Naquan Wright at this point in time. It's a nice run from Florida, an important run to try to get some game flow back. All right, I've said this once before. I've said it 50 times before. I'm going to say it again. Plays like these need to be retired out of coaches' playbooks. This play can be fine if you get what you want, but we are now going to run to the short side of the field. We're going to stack a tight bunch of 3 receivers, and Kentucky has 4 defenders. This is a no-go. Do not run this play. This is silly. This should not be done. Coaches do it. They look at their sheet, and they just call a play. It's 1st down and 10. That's suboptimal play calling, in my opinion. I do not like it, and here's why I don't like it. Because we're just wasting a 1st down play, right? This is an important drive. We're just going to waste this play, and Kentucky's going to play this perfectly. Look, you're not playing against an opponent that's going to get this wrong. Kentucky proves time and time again, year after year, that if you want to run these east-west screens against them, they are ready for them. We've chronicled this before in preview videos. We're going to chronicle it again right here. They know what they're doing on this kind of stuff. Don't do it. Florida's going to do it anyway. Here's what happens. First of all, we're going to blow up both of the blockers with one guy. That's beautiful. Second of all, we're creating a diamond. Everything you wanted is your diamond, right? Inside, outside, top. Perfect. Everything is perfect here. What the heck is Xavier Henderson going to do? He's made some Houdini escapes before. Here he comes to the outside. Perfect. Make him move to the inside. Perfect. Rally and make the tackle. Perfect. You get 1.5 yards. That is just a foolish and nonsensical play. Look, coaches across the board do it. It needs to go away. It's silly and it's dumb. Don't run this play unless you have the numbers. You have to have the numbers. We don't have the numbers. If this guy clears away out of there, you're at least 3-on-3. Your odds are still difficult because you're against the short side of the field, but this is nonsensical. Not going to work. Not against Kentucky. So Florida actually moves themselves out of a good play here, which again will happen sometimes, which is unfortunate because Florida's got a bunch set here or empty set. And watch what happens here. You have Kentucky's corner employing the safety to come down because somebody needs to come check the top of this bunch set, which he's 100% right about that. That needs to happen. So things are looking good, except we then unfortunately motion Naquan across the formation here, or Montrell rather, sorry. And we actually take that away, and that is unfortunate. Of course, that was always going to happen, but it's unfortunate because we would have been 3-on-2 over here, which is what you're looking for, right? That's what you want. You want to be 3-on-2. And instead, now we're 3-on-3 here, we're 2-on-2 here with a single high safety, which is fine in the passing game. In fact, you should be able to operate even numbers like this if you're a good passing team. Florida, of course, in 2 games this season is not a good passing team. And that's going to be something to watch all season long. And Florida's going to run this on 3rd down and 8. Again, I just do not like this. We're 2-on-1, except he can only block one guy. Now, if you play a team that is not disciplined and does not do this correctly, this can work. The idea here is that you're going to get, right here, you're going to get Kingsley to just get a little touch here and then get to the outside. Well, Kentucky does a nice job here of blowing this right up in the A-gap. So we get immediate A-gap pressure, which is fine because we're getting rid of this ball quickly anyway. And the goal, again, is for Kingsley to get out here and make this a favorable number. But there's no way he's going to get out there. Just not going to happen. There goes the ball. right? We get a block the wrong way here by Ethan White. Ethan White is going to basically send. He's going to run his man right into the play. Boom, there he goes. He chucks him right into the line of play, which is extra unfortunate. And this play is dead. But even if he doesn't, even if Ethan White does what he's supposed to do here, which is not blow this guy up into our window, he needs to blow him out of the play this way, or at least hold him up, right? But he doesn't want him to be in here. I get this, but he just, unfortunately, that doesn't work. And now we got a defender who's already beat the blocker, and we've got an extra defender on the outside, right? So, yeah, sure, if he makes a guy miss right here, maybe we've got something because you can see this part of the field is void. But all in all, you're hoping for things to happen. When on offense, you'd much rather dictate to the defense what is going to happen. Dictating is a lot better than hoping. But in this situation, you're just hoping you can get 8 yards with a little screen pass, 2v2. I don't like that. There's so many more things you can do, especially when you're working here and here. We're working 2x2. I mean, there's a million things we can run against this kind of defense that can be more, again, that can be more damaging than what we've chosen to run here, which is basically window dressing and a screen. Don't love it. Didn't work out here for Florida. All right, Trevor Etienne, and a guy who I think is going to be the future of Florida's backfield. I think he has the highest ceiling of the guys right now, but he's still learning, obviously. He's a young guy in the backfield making a big impact, and here's a nice example of where patience of running more like Montrell would have helped him out. Florida trying to run outside zone, and they're getting some nice blocks here to start this off. Now, what he should be doing, outside zone run, if you can go outside, go outside. If not, take your first available hole. But if he's patient here, and you'll see Montrell do this, if he just waits another second, another beat or two right here to see what develops, he's got a nice hole right here to pick up 4 or 5 yards. Instead, he commits very early, right? Here's your defender. He's still unsure of where he's going. It's kind of a cat and mouse game here. He commits very early to taking this outside lane, and once that happens, he's now lost. Oh, now I want to go back. I want to go back. Look at this wall I've got here. I want to go back. Put me back there. It's too late to go back there. And he picks up, still 3 yards. But if he takes this and waits a little bit, and he'll get better at this. I mean, he'll see this on film and think, okay, I need to wait right here just a little bit longer. If he's going to throw my blocker off like that, then I take a step in here. And then if I can beat this guy, I'm picking up a first down. Either way, a little bit too early there on the outside run. Does a nice job to make some positive gains. But you want to be patient when you're running behind the zone blockers. 2nd and 9 after Florida tried a rollout play to the right, something Kentucky was well prepared for. Florida really could not get anything going with that play in this game, so nice job by Kentucky. And here you're going to see sort of the culmination of everything that Napier knows that Kentucky is doing. So we're going to get a little jet sweep motion here, and then we know they're going to do a lot of scrape exchanging coming into AR. We're going to hold, right, this weak side or non-play side linebacker here, and then we're going to run essentially, take a look here, a guard tackle counter. The old GT counter, there it is. This is a power run, not a zone run. We're going to run a power run out of this. We're going to run out of the pistol so it becomes basically like he's under center. There it is, and this is just perfect, right? Everyone's got a nice assignment here. Kingsley's going to come across the formation. He's going to pick up the scraping end. There he is. Pick him up. These guys are now free to come around the edge over here. And they're going to kick out the first guy they see. And if they get the home run scenario, which we get here, we're going to lock down this edge so that ETN can go one-on-one versus a corner or safety. And he's just going to whoop. We saw this move last week. This is a filthy move. He's going to put him on ice right here. Just gone. I mean, you're just not, whoop, gone. Now, he's the only guy in Florida's backfield who has that kind of move. And that is a filthy move. It's one reason why he certainly needs more touches. He's absolutely a playmaker. And behind Florida's offensive line in the run game, if they can get numbers that are not so loaded against them, there will be holes. And that's a wonderful run and a really great touchdown there from Etienne. I'm very excited about what he's putting on film. All right, 2-point conversion time here for Florida. Florida, as they did in this game, and as they're going to do under Billy a lot, is only going to send 2 guys out. Now, if you watch the 49ers play, if you watch other teams that use a lot of 12 personnel play, this is pretty frequent. A couple things work against Florida. One, I like the pistol. I've chronicled the pistol. I'm a fan of the formation. I also like going under center, which Florida never does. If you watch Kyle Shanahan in the NFL, he's going to take a lot more snaps under center. I think there's a lot of advantages to that in the play action game. As far as how the timing works with that, I really wish that Napier would consider adding at least 10 to 12 plays a game under center. I think that would be to Florida's benefit this season greatly. But again, to this time, he doesn't really ever do it. I think he should add it. But in general, you're only sending out 2 receivers. And these 2 receivers, one, here's your converted defensive end or defensive lineman into a tight end, right? Not exactly going to strike fear into your heart. And then here comes Frazier's, who's, of course, a talented guy who's still getting more PT. And this is just, where's he going to go with this? And this is erased. This is absolutely erased, right? And here's your check down, which Billy likes to put a lot of check downs to spread kind of the action of these 2 receivers. Now, I don't love this stuff. Again, I'd much prefer to have more receivers going out, less of a max protect look, more of a spread look. I prefer that, especially on the goal line. That's just me. But here, Richardson correctly IDs that he's got nothing. Nothing is going to work there. So here, you're going to slip out perfectly. Exactly great timing here by ETN. And then Richardson doesn't like what? Pump doesn't like it. And then good eye control here. Way to see him slip this in there. Good catch, good finish. Nice 2-point conversion. Florida goes up 14-7. And you're thinking at this point in time, okay, Florida's missed a lot of opportunities. We're at home. We're up 7 now. Kentucky's really hit one jump ball. Things are probably going to turn around. All right, 16-7. Florida picks up a freebie safety. At this point in time, just totally free points. There's 3 minutes left in the half. Again, this feels like a drive where you could just put them out, right? If you score here, they're not going to come back. Their offense has not done a whole lot of anything. It's a big moment in the game. And this, I think, really is the turning point of the game. And I think this play is what potentially broke the confidence of Richardson and also broke the confidence of Napier in Richardson. And that's a double whammy. And that's why I'm painting this game as a slow regression, is what Florida was calling in the first half was generally solid. We kept missing it, but just keep it going. That's fine. We had stuff working. But this play is going to break stuff. Well, Florida on 3rd and 3 is going to try to run a pretty simple concept here. We're going to just clear this out so that we can slide, right, Zipper right here across the formation like he's running split zone. It's a nice little play. We've got this for an easy first down. This is everything we want. It's going to be a great first down, except we've got 15 here at a great game. Breaks down, reads. Take a look at his footwork. Breaks down, reads the play. He's on Richardson. He's going to try to get into this lane. And he just, look, to me, this is a hero play. This happens sometimes to every single quarterback on planet Earth. This happens. If you're going to run this play, you know he's an unblocked defender. You got to get this ball around him, and you got to put it out here in front of him so he can get the first down, and you carry on. Richardson here tries to open up and sidearm this ball. He pulls it to the inside. How do we know this? Take a look at Zipper's body positioning as he turns. He's not still running this way. He's turning back. He just yoinks this ball across his body to the inside, misses his target window. This ball should be coming along this tangent line. Instead, it comes inside. You can see the ball right here. This ball comes inside. He misses his window, right? Details matter here as a quarterback. You've got to have the right throw lane. Ball's got to be here. It's not there, except he gets punished incredibly cruelly with just a phenomenal play. I mean, he's going to reach his hand all the way out here. He's going to bat this ball down and then also pick it off, which is just extra cruel. I mean, to pick this pass off here, that's just extra cruel. If that ball falls to the ground, Florida punts up 16-7. It sucks, but really not that big of a deal. Kentucky's unlikely to score in that situation the way they're playing offense. But instead, you get an absolutely game-changing moment. And again, there's Richardson, where if he's hurt, he's, making that tackle nice, breaking down, moving well. Makes a nice tackle. I hate to see him making tackles. He's making too many. And he sets up Kentucky's rather defunct offense on the 5-yard line, where they wind up scoring. And the whole entire complexion of this game is now changed. And I think this is where the mentality of Florida changes as well. On the very next drive, Florida gets the ball back with 1 minute and 21 seconds left and 2 timeouts, and they elect to just run all the clock out. On the podcast, of course, we talk a lot about that. I'm not going to talk a lot about it here. I don't like it. I don't like it for multiple reasons. In the very short form, if you're going to play for the long form of the season, if you say, let's just play Richardson, we're going to ride or die this year, this is not our year anyway, then let him play it out, right? You're playing long term. Let him get experience. Let him get reps. You got to bounce back 15. You got to make some plays. That happens. If you're playing tactically to win the game, and you want to win the game and you say, I'm not comfortable yet, we got to get his head right, that's fine. But I think how Billy managed the rest of the game was not necessarily tactically to win the game. So it sort of felt like a mismatch of the different strategies you could have taken. But regardless, this is the moment in my opinion, where this football game changed significantly. And again, a lot of it had to do with the fact that Richardson was missing passes, sure, but this seemed to create a break with him mentally. And again, it also seemed to create a lack of confidence from Napier in him. And I think both of those things are going to create what you see here in the second half. All right, 2nd down and 9 now. The game is very different in complexion. Of course, Kentucky missed the extra point, so Florida maintains a 3-point lead, but a very different complexion to the game here. Florida is still going to get what Kentucky is going to give them, which is what we know we're going to give them, which is a lot of cover 3. Open up, cover 3, rotate, cover 3. Again, this is what Kentucky does every single year. If I'm a coach this week, I'm a Florida coach, I'm obviously very frustrated because you knew all of this stuff was going to happen. This is not a surprise. This was not Utah doing things on offense that was pretty unique. This is what Kentucky does. You had to have expected it. Florida just could not execute. And again, here's Kentucky going to play very aggressive to AR's right side. They do not want to let him escape to the right side. Here we go. And Barber, who had to fill in for Tarquin, who went down with an injury, unfortunately, does the exact right thing. His job and zone is to take the most outside man. He switches to the most outside man. Unfortunately here, this is just a nice design by Kentucky. We lose ID. We lose ID here that there's 2 coming from the far outside. And Richardson's going to be a little slow to process what's happening here. Generally, he's lightning quick. Kentucky running their cover 3. This is going to be your buzz defender. He's going to play a little bit of a rerouting technique here and then buzz over here to the flat. That's the goal, except he doesn't. You're going to see him turn his head and he runs with this route. Now Richardson's looking here. As soon as he sees his number even get held up for a second, and he especially when he sees these shoulders turn, ball's got to get zipped out to here. Now unfortunately for Richardson, he is going to ID this, but take a look, it's way too late. See, that little hitch, this little hitch right here, this little hitch and pump should never happen, right? That ball's never going to go there. Not happening. His jersey is there. He's gone. You have a wide receiver right here wide open. This has got to be ID'd quicker. Typically, he does this. Here he's trying to, I want to go there. No, I can't go there. Now I know I need to go here. And he makes the ID. And if Kentucky doesn't have, again, this extra action here on the outside, then this ball is going to be complete. And that is going to be a 15 or 20-yard gain to shorter. This is another significant missed opportunity for Florida on a very easy attack against cover 3. These are layup throws. And it was one thing after the other. It was something different on most of these as you're seeing, but it just kept occurring. And I think you just see this grating on his confidence. But here, for him to stick so long on this, he normally does not stick on a receiver this long. He's just not comfortable. And then, unfortunately, again, that happens. All right, 3rd and 9 now for Florida. Crucial 3rd down here. You can sort of feel things are not going well. And this is going to be a scenario that's unfortunate for Florida's O-line, which has been so good. Again, your quarterback is struggling. You need this. You got to pick him up. You got to help him out here. We're going to get Ricky on a dig. This was open a lot. And again, this is open on Kentucky a lot because they like to bail. And they'll tend to leave one linebacker in this window and one down lower. But either way, here it comes. He's going to come right around, hook right around the linebacker. He is open on this play. Unfortunately, take a look at 13 off the edge here. He's just going to run a simple stunt to the middle. And Florida is not going to ID this until too late, right? This is too late. Take a look. He's not even coming in. So we have 2 pass protectors, and here's your late safety valve, who is also a pass protector if a blitz comes in, which it doesn't. We have 2 here chilling. He's not coming, and they do not snap their heads around in time. There it is, and that's late. And that is most unfortunate right here, because that's going to change the fate of this play. We're going to lose this ID. That's not Ethan White. Ethan White's obviously not in the game here, right? So we're getting a little bit different line combo. We're going to lose the ID. We're going to get through. That's too late. And now we've lost our pressure. But even then, AR opens up. Take a look at his eyes. He doesn't stay as sticky to the safeties like normal. He's much quicker to come right here. This is not what he puts on film normally. Hence why I keep calling this a regression. This is not what he does. I've watched all the snaps he's ever played at Florida, and you've seen me chronicle how good his eye control is to the middle. He's not doing it now. He's nervous. He's not feeling good. This is a major regression. He's now early to the set. He wants to force this smash route. We got a corner route here, and we got a hitch. That's not there. Kentucky is all over this. Right now, he already knows that. That smash route is dead. But he's opened up early. He's committed to it. Just wants to get it there. He's pumping. He's uncomfortable. He's patting the ball around. All these things are bad. Now they get the pressure up the middle, which Florida catches late. There's Kingsley rerouting it. And now we're just blown out of the play. And we're taking a sack, right? Instead, what should happen here is takes the snap. His eyes should be here, like they always are. He should read that he bailed. This guy bailed. And he knows he's got this route to his interior receiver, whammo. Put it on him, first down. Instead, he's locking on to a concept that is not there, that was not there on the read, something he typically does not do. We're watching his play regress because he's uncomfortable. All right, what a difference a week makes. Last week against Utah, Florida was successfully able to run this bootleg play multiple times, and here Kentucky actually doesn't get the perfect defense they'd called so many times for this, where they actually had a guy running in here. Right, Florida gets a look they kind of like, but pay attention here to all the eyes, right? Kentucky's eyes are all in the backfield. And as soon as they see, here we go, watch how well this is. This is really, really, really good stuff. I've chronicled this before about Kentucky. It's really nice. And they're all getting to their lanes, right? They're all getting to their zone lanes. They're turning, they're escaping. They know that Florida's only going to run routes to this side of the field. That's all they're going to do. That's all Florida does on this, and there is just nothing. Florida has 3 levels of throws here. There's absolutely nothing there. They're bottled up. They're double bracketed behind him here, and that's all AR can do. So last week, those turned into nice gains and big plays. This week, they were not there. On 3rd and 3 here, Kentucky is going to play a rare snap of just straight coverage. They're going to drop back here and play very safe. 16-16, they're going to play very safe, only sending 3 guys. They're dropping 8. They're going to play cover 4, and they're going to play the sticks. AR here, let's take a look at his eyes. Okay, this time, looking towards the safety, which is what you want to do. ID the back end of the coverage. Turn your head towards your receiver. Get your timing right. Drive off the back foot. Now, notice the timing on this. Pay attention here in the pocket. You've watched a lot of him patting the ball. Back foot, boom, dime. Great throw, right over the hand here, inside the corner, strike. That is what we're used to seeing from AR. There's a nice ball there. Perhaps he's going to get it going at this stage of the game. Of course, we know the end of this story, but it's a nice ball there. It's a good read. That's more of what we're used to seeing. It was just very sporadic in this game. All right, 3rd and 3 for Florida. This is one of the few plays that Florida actually gets good numbers to run. And again, Florida, I think, is going to be a good running team all year long if they get good numbers. The question is, who in the world is going to give them a good box to run against now? Nobody. That's what's great about sports, right? Find your opponent's weakness and relentlessly pursue it. So Anthony Richardson in Florida knows the questions they're going to have to answer if they're going to improve as a football team, and that is going to be how they pass the football, because everyone knows that if you get numbers like this, 5 in the box here, if you get numbers like this, Florida's going to shred you. And that's what we see here. Split zone play. Here comes Naquan right to the outside. I mean, just look at this blocking. He's been untouched yet. He's going to shoot through that hole. He gets touched here first after a good 6-yard gain on 3rd and 3. To me, if this is Montrell or ETN, it's probably a bigger play. And that's no offense to Naquan Wright. He's been a very productive back from Florida. He just hasn't been as good as other guys. Either way, a nice conversion there for Florida moving into Kentucky territory. Unfortunately, we've seen this play before. Florida, Georgia last year, very similar situation occurs. This one is worse, quite frankly. It's worse, and this is, again, another piece of the regression for this game of AR. I really hope it's not going to be a trend of regression. One game is just a thing, right? It's different if it occurs throughout the year. That's not the hope. I can't tell you what's going to happen with Anthony Richardson in Florida's offense. We know now there's a really high ceiling and there's a really low floor. Sort of the floor is the basement and the ceiling's the moon, and we're not sure what we're going to get from him because this was just a wildly inconsistent performance. He's going to have to figure it out. He's a young guy. He's got time. But this is a pre-snap read. Again, you're pre-snap here. Now, if I'm pre-snap and I'm playing Q, this guy could be dropping into cover 4. We've seen them do that, right? They could be playing cover 3, where one of these guys comes down, one goes back. That's cover 3. They could be playing cover 2, which they don't play a lot of. So it's unlikely they're going to come down here and take these routes away, right? And do something like this, okay? It could be any one of those things, but regardless, if you want to pre-snap read a throw, right, to the far side of the field, he's on all the way on the left hash. This is a long throw. And you want to throw a hitch route, you better be super confident that this guy is not squatting on your route. Now, here's all you have to do that. If you think that's a good idea, then you can take the ball and you can look at the defender. And if he backpedals, you have this throw. Stick it in there. You have it. Now, obviously, Naquan's not even running that route, right? So we got a problem. But aside from that, quarterbacking 101 here is, if that's what you want, this is the only guy that can affect that play. He can't get there. He's lined up inside, right? Pre-snap. Is he inside my slot? Yes. He can't stop this route. Not going to happen. I have to read this guy and this guy only. So easy. Snap, open, read. Read him. Did he bail? Yes. Throw here. Did he not bail? Never throw here. It's a pick six. Do not ever do this. No. Richardson literally opens up and throws. He is not even looking. It's such an unbelievably reckless and egregious decision by him for a guy who is smart and conscientious and has not generally put this stuff on film. Again, the Georgia one was a much more nuanced interception by an NFL linebacker now. That's high school football. This is high school football on a JV team on a Friday night, maybe even a Thursday night, when you're telling your quarterback you're never going to throw a far hash hitch, and you're certainly never going to throw it without looking at the corner. I mean, that is as ugly as a piece of film as you can see. And I hate it for Richardson. I hate that his confidence got to this point, that we're running an empty set where they're only bringing 3. Again, this is great for us. Like, Kentucky is beginning to lose their aggressiveness because the game is close. They themselves are getting tight. It's late in the game, right? Stoops goes to what Stoops is like. He's a conservative coach. He's losing the aggression he had in the first half. This is shaping up to be good for Florida. This is a plus situation for us. And he's going to rush this with this throw. It's soul crushing. And then here he is, of course. He's made these tackles all the time. Kentucky's offense is not in a great shape. He slides out from under him, loses the tackle. And that is sickening on every level. I mean, quarterbacks are going to throw picks. They're going to throw pick sixes. It's going to happen. And for AR, again, for a young guy who had sort of the world thrown at him after week 1, to make this happen here, I mean, again, Naquan, I mean, it hurts so bad on so many levels. Because, again, Kentucky's going to give you these window routes. They're literally going to give it to you. They give it to you all day long. They're going to make sure they keep the top on the coverage. You know that as a quarterback. It hurts. It just hurts. And again, I heard for AR because he's a young and experienced guy. And to go from week 1 to week 2, where he had some nice throws in week 1, he was great with his legs, he managed the game really well, to this is hard to come back from. That's going to hurt a quarterback's confidence right there. And he's going to have to show us how tough he can be mentally. And you have to be, as a quarterback, you got to flush this play. You got to learn from it. You got to take it, and you got to flush it. And you got to say, why did I do that? I'm never going to do that again. I can never make that happen. He's already had one example from Georgia. Here's 2. You don't want to see quarterbacks make the same kind of mistake twice like this. Not this kind of mistake. That's bad. That's got to get cleaned up, and that's unfortunate. So in this offense that Florida is going to be running under Billy Napier, there's going to be a lot of these 2 receiver routes. Now, these work really well. Alabama, in fact, runs these to great success oftentimes. But if you're going to run them, you better have the linebackers sucking up on your play action, right? Because this is the key to these routes. And there they go, but look how quickly they bail, right? They did not really take that play fake. It's 2nd down and 8. We only have 2 receivers running out here. And there they go. Kentucky has 7 defenders versus 2 receivers. That's right, 7 versus 2. Can you win that? Sure, you can win that. With Florida's receivers, without a premier speed guy, without a premier burner to open things up, it's pretty hard to win it. They're off screen here, you can't see it, but nobody's open. That's what he sees right now. Great blocking. Again, if you're going to bring 4 against Florida, we're going to probably lock you up. And then there's some late pressure here, but that's only because this play has been, this play is dead. You'd like to see this not happen, right? But essentially you get Montrell losing contain here on a linebacker. I mean, that's fine. So you go to the check down. Nice work to the check down there, and that's going to pick up, a yard or two. But Florida thus far this year in game 1 and game 2 is basically over vertical shots with Billy Napier. When I chronicled his offense, I mentioned they take a lot of vertical shots. They hit a lot of them at Louisiana. They missed a ton of them. A ton of open guys with easy throws. So far, Napier's been unable to generate open receivers downfield on his play action plays with any success at all versus Utah and Kentucky. Of course, it goes without saying that I myself prefer a lot more creativity in the passing game. I love play action passes. I like the concept of sending 2 guys out on play action when you're running the ball well. But Napier's going to have to find a way to generate downfield passing from Florida. You can't keep taking 5 or 6 shots a game and literally get nothing out of them. You're going to have to get more out of that. We're going to have to find a way to generate more, whether that's playing more 11 personnel, sending 3 vertical routes rather than 2. I don't think Florida has to max protect as much as they are. I think Florida could send another receiver out there and complicate the route tree and still get good protection. We don't need to max protect all of these plays and send just 2 receivers out. But in this game and last game, it hurt Florida. They attempted this multiple times and basically got nothing out of it. It's 3rd and 7. If you have Kentucky playing a cover 3 on your bingo card, you're going to win. Good guess by you. Take a look. Corner's going to backpedal out, right? And you've got Xander's down here, and you have Shorter here. And this is, again, a very easy throw, except Richardson is going to rush it. Kentucky's bringing 3 with their 4th coming late, which Montrell's going to pick up. This is a great look for Florida. Richardson takes the snap. Again, this time he does read the corner. He makes sure he's got the space, so let's put a check mark there. He's learned from the pick mistake, but look at how he's finishing his throw here. This is terrible mechanics. Look at his body. He is finishing towards the direct sideline. This throw is going here. We got to be seeing his shoulders squared up towards his target here, and it's not. He's over here. This is bad footwork, bad fundamentals. That's what leads to throws like these. He's all arming this. There's no fluidity in his body. Right foot hits. He's stuck. He's not driving through. The mechanics are way off, and that is a terrible throw. He misses him by a good 2 yards off the screen, and this is a layup of a pass. He can make that pass in his sleep. These are basic throws. He misses again on 3rd and 7 in a game that is still a game late in the 3rd quarter, and Florida must punt yet again. 1st and 10 for Florida, and again, we're going to try sending 2 receivers out. Here they go, 2 receivers out. There's their play action. Kentucky, nice job reading this. Now, these 3 defenders are out of the play. You're counting on that, right? Those 3 defenders are out of the play. So essentially, you've got 7 players that you're taking out of the play in this particular case. And this is a lot better than what we saw last time, right? And you have 4 players versus your 3 players, but one's going to stay down here. So you have 4 versus 2 because Kentucky's going to play safe. They always do. And this is nice by them. So we're sending 2 verticals out there. Here's your underneath defender there. And Kentucky is able to bottle these routes up. Now, something Florida does is they run, I think, very simple routes, which you can do. The 49ers themselves will run, a very simple concept of a post and a cross, for example. It's one of their base plays. The cross is often open a lot, but this guy better be a burner. He better be able to burn through these zones. Florida does not have that. And on this particular case, it's bottled up on the back end, right? And here's your defender staying down the check down. Richardson now opens up, looking. We got tons of time. Again, to me, let's not send him as the check down. Let's send him out on a route. And let's keep our running back as the check down, right? Let's do that instead. We don't need all these protectors in here. This is not what we have to have happen. The offensive line is one of the strengths of our team. And now Richardson, this is slow by him. Right now, he knows. He just checked. Look at the helmet. One more time. Check. Nope, not there. Turn your head. Nope, not there. Check down. Do it. Check down. Throw it. Throw the check down. Just throw the check down. It's 1st and 10. 1-on-1. Throw the check down. Whoop. Nope. Now, who knows why he doesn't throw this check down? A couple guesses. He's gotten picked off before in a shallow ball. He's a little skittish. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to throw that, right? Throw the check down. Doesn't throw the check down. Now in a little scramble drill. Well, now he just throws it away. So again, as this game goes on, the basic fundamentals of quarterbacking are breaking down. Despite flashes. Good read, throw it. Just throw the check down. That's your job as a quarterback. Throw the check down there. He's way too far away to make a play on this. Maybe you gain a yard or 2. Maybe he breaks a tackle, but you got to do it. Secondarily, again, if I'm Florida, I don't want to keep running these 2 receiver routes when I'm getting good protection down here. I'm wasting players. Florida now with a 3rd and 3. And you're going to see what is basically a cover 0. You have a free defender here, but he's not playing safety. So Florida's now 3 on 3. No safety, 3rd and 3. 3 on 3, no safety, 3rd on 3. Kentucky playing 8 men in the box. Now, I said when I chronicled Louisiana on film study that they often would throw the ball here. More often than not. In fact, a high percentage of the time they'd play to the numbers. Good football coaching is playing to your numbers. If you have positive numbers, you got to beat it. Obviously, if you're Florida now, Napier's lost confidence in AR. AR perhaps has lost confidence in himself. And you're getting these kind of situations, which are not good. This is a regression of play calling in football theory. And also, it's a poor design. So we're going to start with this kind of formation. We're going to put a receiver. Again, they're in 0. They're in 0. Right now, I'd love a check, check, check. Let's move him up closer to the line of scrimmage, right? Let's move him closer to the line of scrimmage. Rather than being 3 yards back, we could have him a couple yards back, half yard back right here. And now let's take advantage of the fact that we have 3 on 3 to the wide side of the field with no safety. There's a whole lot of easy routes that can be run against this coverage. I mean, I could draw a million up right now, right? You can run a go, go, and an out route. That's pretty simple. You can run double posts, which is really nice here, and an out route. Another great combo. You can run double slants. You could run a slant here and a slant here and a go route to clear. There's endless combinations that are amazing against this, where if you're quarterback, I'm drooling if I get that. And instead, Florida elects to do this. Bringing up a very crucial 4th down and 3. All right, we just saw 3rd and 3 was cover 0. Kentucky says, hey, I'll raise that cover 0 to another cover 0, because last time you ran it, we're really still not afraid of you. This time we're going to change things up a little bit. All right, so Florida is going to go with more of a bunch set here. We're closer to the line. Again, if I'm Florida, I'd like to see more spacing for my wide receiver here. I'd like to create much bigger windows for these guys because there's no safety. Let's create bigger windows, bigger space. That's just me. We're not going to do that. Whatever, fine. And now we're going to leave this defender here to protect against Richardson because, of course, we want to make sure that we stay to the outside because Richardson's likely the threat. Now we're going to raise this cover 0 with a blitz, which is typically what you want to do. You don't want to give a team time in 0. We're going to bring the heat here. All right, we're going to make sure we bring 6 to your 5. 6 to your 5. And now Florida, again, is what's happening here is really, what the heck is this? I don't know because it doesn't matter. Because all Florida's going to do is run a slant route. Now that's fine. Slant routes are good against almost any coverage, but why not instead give your quarterback a little bit of help? He's struggling to throw accurately. Why not run any kind of crosser? Why not run a mesh? Why not run a rub with these guys, right? I mean, you could run a million different routes. They're in man. You can run this right here. That's a great man play, right? You could run a mesh route. You know, let's motion him in a little bit here, and let's run a mesh route. Let's do anything. Let's do something. But instead, we opt for a one-on-one slant with Frazier's, who, no offense to Frazier's, but he's not exactly putting on film. He's blowing past corners with his slant route. He's not exactly creating tons of separation by making a slant route move. Maybe in practice, but it's not going to happen here. On top of that, pre-snap, if I'm Richardson, I have inside leverage from this safety, from this corner, which tells me he's taking away the slant route. This is not going to be an easy throw. Now, again, if I've got an all-pro receiver here who I trust is going to be able to draw into the outside and then beat him to the inside, fine. Instead, though, I would much rather have worked crossing routes or something to give you help against cover 0. To me, this is the least efficient play against cover 0. There are so many things you can run. So many things you can run here. Whether, again, you can run slant wheel, you can run a stick wheel. I mean, you can run a million things to help to make this an easier throw. But we're going to settle for one-on-one slant route, which, like I said, right personnel, perhaps that's what you want, but we're facing inside leverage. It's not good. He's going to try to get him to go to the outside right here, right? Try to get him to go to the outside, which he does successfully get him with outside leverage here, so that's at least a check for that. But this is hardly a window to put the ball into, and this is not a good ball. But this is also gloved. I mean, sure, the ball's got to be out here further, give him a better chance, but this is what we come up with here? This is what we have on 4th down and 3? Now, I would argue that going for it here is not even wise. You get a slight expected value boost for going for it here mathematically, but you're in a scenario where your defense is playing pretty well. There's a lot of time left in this game, and you're down 7. Again, you get a slight EV boost here mathematically, but the EV is not going to tell you what's happening when your quarterback has lost confidence and you're not completing passes. You're playing at home. It's college football. Punt the ball. You got a great punter. Punt him deep. Play defense. See if you can't get a better shot next time. I don't want to bet the farm here on this situation because if you don't get it, Kentucky probably gets a field goal and then the game is over, despite the fact there's still a lot of time left. But most importantly, if you're going to go for it here, again, slightly positive EV move. If you're going to go for it here, this is just, to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense for the reasons I mentioned. I don't love it. I just don't love it. Florida's still in this game because Kentucky misses a field goal. They give Florida life again. It's now 2nd down and 9. Florida's going to complete a simple little wide receiver screen here. And again, this is pretty much the best look you can get. And I'm showing you this play because it illustrates sort of how this can look great, but against a team that knows how to play this well, it's often not as great as it feels on the pre-snap. One, and I don't love this, again, why are we having Henderson back up this far? Why? Because this is great defense. This is excellent. I want to start with the details here. Kentucky is not going to just chill here and let you throw the ball up the field some, right? Good coaching by Stoops. He's going to get in the window. He knows this is a window you want. I'm going to make sure you can't throw this ball here. Check. Now I got to throw it back here. So I got to move Henderson back. That's typical on a screen. It's why you see teams do it. I'm just illustrating the fact that this is good by Kentucky. They're not going to give Florida anything easy. I have Shorter out here one-on-one. Kentucky, perfect. I am the corner. I have to get the outside. I secure the outside because here comes my help. My job is to not let him come to the outside. Henderson knows he wants to go to the outside. It's the best place to go, but he can't because I have now blocked that down. Here comes my safety immediately downhill. Break down. Don't over pursue. Break down. Bend down. Make the tackle. That's just great defense. Now, Florida picks up a few yards here, but it's a great example of how you cover that kind of play and why, again, pre-snap, that looks pretty nice. Post-snap, yeah, you picked up 3 or 4 yards, but at this stage of the game, Kentucky's going to give you that, especially because it's putting you in 3rd down where you've been unable to convert for quite some time now. All right, 3rd down and 5. So this is a play where if you watched it live in person, you thought, what the heck just happened? This is the worst call ever. In reality, again, I like throwing the football, but outside of that bias, this play actually, this play could have worked, or it could have at the very worst set up a very short 4th and 1 or 2. Unfortunately, this is what happened to Florida in this game. AR was the major reason why, but when you need your team to help you when you're struggling, it just wasn't there. And Kingsley is going to get just tossed aside. We've seen him do this to other defenders all year long, but Zero is going to cast him aside and just destroy Naquan. Bye. Gone. Now, if he doesn't, let's assume he gets his block like he's supposed to. Imagine he's blocked here. I want you to imagine this for a second. Just keep this going. This is the kind of hole that we would have had. A significant hole. He's not going to make this play, right? He's not going to get there. He's going to run right past him. Look at the hole. Look at the hole. Look at the blocking, right? We're probably getting somewhere in here. 4th and 1. Maybe we'll break a tackle and to get a 1st down. So looking at it on film, if you're going to run this play, you have the numbers to run the play. The numbers are fine. Numbers are good. Interior run here is nice. They're kind of giving you this, but that happens. So looking at this on film, I don't hate this play call. Kentucky's defensive front was new and inexperienced. They weren't doing great without the blitz help, and on this play, he made a phenomenal play. Phenomenal play. And that put Florida obviously into a 4th and 6 situation. But that's just a great play right there by Walker. All right, 4th and 6. Again, this is a negative EV play. Last time was slightly positive. This is negative expected value, but I don't like this one either. Why? You're not moving the ball. There's still 4 minutes and 13 seconds left. You're still playing at home, and you still have 3 timeouts. And Kentucky's offense still looks shaky. Were they converting a 1st down or 2 per drive? Yes. Could they potentially run the clock out on you? Yes. But 4th down and 6 here, and again, I'm like the king of wanting to go for it. This is a negative EV move in the long term, and that's without factoring in how poor your offense has been. I still would have wanted to roll the dice and get one more chance to have something else happen before having to die on this hill, especially because 4th and 6 is going to be hard for this Florida team to pick up the way they're playing. Let's look at what Florida chooses to run. So, motion by zipper across the formation. We are now going to have shorter stand here. Okay, great. We're definitely not going to go there. Let's just cut the field in half. That's fine. Cutting the field in half is fine. You can do that. I don't have a problem with that. Cut the field in half. All right, we're going to have an extra blocker here that we don't need in zipper. You're going to see that a lot. We have a lot of wasted extra blockers. I don't love that. All right. Most importantly here, this play actually does work. In fact, it works in 2 different occasions. We have Henderson open for the first down, and we also have Ricky open for the first down. Both of these guys are open. This will work. Now, AR's already thrown the ball here. But this play is here. This is here. This is not a hard throw. He's on the run to the right. It's his favorite side. He's got nothing in front of him. And he's going to roll out and look at his body here. Right? Rather than what he's taught to do here is roll, come towards the line of scrimmage. Look at his body. Come towards the line of scrimmage. Square your shoulders. Shoulders are not square. They're facing here. And then hit this throw. First down, we still are moving. Instead, we're going to try to sloppily sling this across our body, which we do, and we throw a bouncer in there. Now, again, it's a tight window. Look, these are tight windows here, right? That's tight. One of the downsides of rolling your quarterback out to the side is a good defense knows they can roll with you. Look how hard they're rolling. You're telegraphing to them, you're probably not going to throw it here. So we can roll with you. You're shrinking this window that's here, but again, this play is there. It's available. I'm sure they've practiced it. I'm sure he likes this play. I'm sure it's something he's hit and practice a lot. But when you're struggling and you're mentally just not feeling good, you bounce one at the biggest moment of game 2 here in the swamp. And that, again, just unfortunate. Play call's fine there. It's fine. It works. Could have converted. And I'd be showing you a conversion. Just tough. Just tough stuff there, and I think that's what you see there is, I think for Billy, it's a learning point from him. It's week 2 of year 1 of new offensive install, new players, new system. This had to have been as surprising and hopefully more surprising for him than it is for me. I'm not at practice every day, but he had to be very surprised with what AR was giving him. At the same point in time in the second half, it became very clear, I think, to everyone that AR was not in a good place. So with that, you got to try to manage that however you think that's best. And we can spend, again, an entire hour discussing what should have been done there. I think for Billy, this game's going to raise a lot of questions in his mind on what he needs to do and how he needs to do it. I think he's shocked and surprised. I think the staff knows they let an opportunity get away from them. This Kentucky team is a pretty average team this year. They were especially average, missing their best running back, their 2 backup running backs, 3 new D linemen, 2 new corners, an offensive line that was young and a sieve, and they still came out of Gainesville with a win. And so this one hurts, I think, tactically. In the long run, it may not mean anything, right? Florida's not supposed to do anything great this year anyway. This may just be a year 1 that we chalk up to learning, and next year everything's great. But certainly 2 weeks in, this is a frustrating loss, one that I think Florida should have won, could have won. Kentucky didn't do anything that surprised them. I think they'd be the first to admit that. And that's really, in my opinion, the worst way to lose, is if a team's doing nothing to surprise you and you just can't execute. So we'll see what this means for the future. I think the safest answer is to say we don't know. It just adds more variance to Richardson, and we've got to find out how he responds and what this team does. So I said this video is going to be short. I was totally wrong. It might be one of the longest ones I've done, and that's because I think this game was obviously just a very interesting case study in what happened. At any rate, as always, thanks for listening and thanks for watching. I appreciate your support and your support of this channel. I'm James from the Gator Nation Football Podcast, and I will be with you each and every week this season through the good, the bad, and the ugly. See you next week after USF.